If you were born with your North Node in Virgo and South Node in Pisces, you have a soul of a mystic. You are generous, spiritual, intuitive, but you may struggle with escaping reality and not being good at follow through, which is why your North Node is in Virgo. That is what you're learning in this lifetime. You're here to get organized, to take care of the details, to make sure that your creative vision and your intuition and your spirituality and your imagination get translated into the tangible and physical form. Together, when you merge those two, you can be unstoppable. Let's take a closer look. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you like my work, please support me by leaving a like or a comment, subscribing, and pressing that notification bell. You also have the option of saying thank you by buying me a coffee or tipping me. I really appreciate that. Finally, if you'd like to work with me, check out my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com, where you can book a reading or become a horoscope subscriber and receive written down or in-person readings every month. Very, very highly recommend. So let's talk about the North Node and South Node before we talk about specific signs. What is North Node and South Node? North Node and South Node are not planets. They're mathematical points of intersection between the lunar orbit and the ecliptic, which is the solar orbit. And whenever we get the new or full moon at those points of intersection, we get eclipses. So North and South Node basically indicate these like major events in life, right? Like eclipses have long been feared and revered, and people sort of still give them a lot of emphasis because eclipses are the times when karmic doors are opening and closing. And astronomically, North Node is the part of the lunar orbit where the moon is climbing up. It's basically the higher point of intersection, versus South Node is the part of the lunar orbit when the moon has been climbing down. And so on the level of like going up, there is a sense of excitement and anticipation. And when you're heading down, even when you're hiking and you're climbing up the mountain, you're going up, you have that, eager enthusiasm and anticipation, versus when you're climbing down, you've been there, done that. So South Node and North Node have similar energy, right? On some level, they represent the rise and the fall of fortune, the rise and the fall of karma. And there's a couple of ways of looking at it. Modern astrologers tend to really idealize North Node. They say South Node is the lessons of the past and the gifts you have brought in, but something that you are basically called to let go, versus North Node is the energy that you're trying to master, that you're trying to tap into and develop this life. It's basically called the karmic purpose, right? The traditional astrologers, which I am a traditional astrologer, believe that South Node and North Node are more complicated than that. In this belief, they are tied together, and the goal is to find balance between the two versus just getting rid of one and prioritizing the other. There's this similar energy. North Node is the path upward. It's all about, it just by nature has that like eager, hungry, materially driven sort of big, loud energy, right? And it tends to make people hungrier for things that are connected to that North Node, whether that just be the sign or the planet that is conjunct North Node. For example, Lance Armstrong was someone born with Mars conjunct North Node, I believe, and he gained success through using steroids, which is not so good, but he felt that crazy hunger. Versus South Node is the energy of releasing and letting go and sort of softening, and both can be good when used wisely and can be negative when used not wisely, right? Like I just gave an example of Lance Armstrong, too much hunger leading to breaking the rules and not playing fair, versus too much release can lead you to not care about other people and can lead you to sort of, separate from anything, escape into into like drugs or alcohol because you just don't care about material success. So there's once again a need to balance, right? With North Node learning how to handle that energy and stepping into that energy with more confidence, and with South Node kind of learning to not overdo the release, or to not sort of escape too much, and instead learn from the difficulties, learn from the past, learn from experience, so that you can use your South Node energy with more awareness. North Node and South Node will spend about 18 months in the pair of signs. So everyone born in the dates that I'm about to tell you will have the same North and South Node. So people who are about the same age as you might share a lot of similarities with you. So people born between December 16th, 1959 and June 10th, 1961, July 6th, 1978 and January 5th, 1980, and January 26, 1997 and October 20th, 1998 all have their North Node in Virgo, as well as the little babies that were born between November 12, 2015 and May 9th, 2017. They also share that. So North Node in Virgo is very much connected to your South Node in Pisces. The two of them tell a story together, right? So with South Node in Pisces, you have the soul of a mystic, the soul of someone who has experienced a loss of ego self, right? Like you may have focused in your past lifetimes on meditation, on transcendence. Maybe you've been like, in a monastery taking care of other people, healing other people. So you come into this lifetime with that knowledge of sort of not being as attached to the body, of being a highly spiritual, highly intuitive person. And so on the negative, when you have your South Node in Pisces, you can easily slide into this loss of self through addiction, through confusion, through being lost, through maybe daydreaming and imagining, but not being grounded and not taking care of your body. And that is, of course, where your Virgo North Node comes in. I know 3 people, all of different generations, with the same North Node. One of them is my mom. So this is like, I've seen this in many different people and seen this, how this can manifest. So, you will be someone who is likely to feel very connected to the world and very connected to the pains of other people. But at the same time, I think you may also feel like you're quite different, and you feel like you're out of place and not sort of belonging with maybe to material pursuits, or people who are being too angry. I don't know. There might be something about you that's just like more more spiritual, more kind of transcendent, more connected to the collective versus to your own body on some level. But of course, that also results in putting too much emphasis on other people, losing your sense of self, not having strong boundaries, finding it difficult to kind of stick to schedules, to tell the truth, to express yourself, to send emails. This can definitely be like, Virgo, your North Node in Virgo rules. It's in charge of routines and physical body and food and schedules. And so like that's where you may be really needing to master and like kind of learn more. And that is being organized, being structured, eating well, taking care of your body, having sort of good routines. And of course, it's not going to be easy, right? When you feel like drawn to escape, or drawn to care for other people, or sort of not as attached to your material body early in life. This could be like a placement of someone who's struggling to quit drinking, or someone who is struggling to lose weight because it's just, on some level, it's not as important to you, right? So of course, the more shadow is like being lost in addiction, the more maybe positive you can get lost in relationships with South Node and Pisces. You can be, when you meet another Pisces person, you may feel like so, true and free and romantic, even not just Piscean person, but like you can be the most romantic, most playful, and most giving lover. But then Pisces shadow side could be getting bored, right? Or fleeting to the next person and to the next one, and not sort of building that Virgo staying power. So yeah, watch out for, beware of the fact that you might be escaping responsibility, that you're struggling with getting things done. And as you get older, North Node tends to mature around the age of 42. You will learn to become more focused. My mom restarted her life at like 45, because before then she was an alcoholic basically, and she struggled and she relied on other people for support, myself included. But now as like a 60-year-old, she's learning how to, and it didn't start just when she was 60, but she's learning how to take care of herself and how to be a grown-up, So a little bit of personal information. So, learning to follow through, starting with personal kind of taking care of yourself. I think you will learn how to eat better, how to treat yourself with respect, how to treat yourself with kind of, I think once you have more follow through and more commitment to your goals, you will also learn to treat yourself better and kind of appreciate yourself better, right? You will learn to take your talents and take your intuitive gifts and bring them into the shape, into the tangible shape, right? Like with just South Node and Pisces or strong Piscean energy, you might just like have a billion ideas, have a lot of insights, but never make them happen. You might feel like you want to write a book, or you want to start a podcast, or you want to start a YouTube channel, but you really need to master that focus and follow through that Virgo North Node calls you to do. So learning to stop escaping, right? Learning to be more present, to kind of not run away from responsibility, to not give people flaky answers, because that's another shadow side of Pisces, is changing your opinions a lot of times, or changing your commitments a lot of times, where you say one thing, but then you don't necessarily commit. Like when you tell a friend that you're going to meet them at a specific time, you're not necessarily going to do that. And Virgo can help you make things real. It can definitely help you harness that imaginative, beautiful energy of Pisces. And that's where the two can be like really, really strong together. Some famous people with these placements, by the way, are George Clooney, Stephen Hawking, right? Like such an accomplished person. Kylie Jenner, Joe Biden, Bob Dylan, Bernie Sanders, and Usher. So yeah, like there's quite a lot of people on that list that have accomplished a lot, right? And it took them a while, like Joe Biden, for example. It took him a while to become a president, but he has been, I think the way we know Joe Biden is very Virgo North Node on some level. So yeah, let's see. Avoid escaping, try to take good care of your body, learn to build routines, take it one step at a time. Don't expect yourself to just suddenly become organized, right? But focusing on your health, focusing on paying bills on time, sending emails on time, hang out with Virgos, see more Virgos, see how they're able to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. This is part of what you're learning as well. And, learn to be to build your skills, to get organized, to take care of the mundane so that you have more space to let your imaginative come true. And if you feel like you're getting too bogged into details, then definitely take a time to like run away, go into nature, spend some time near water, turn off your phone, meditate, paint, create, and do not ever reject one part of your personality. Try to have a healthy balance. So this is all I have. Let me know how it resonated, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.